Hello everybody, this is Rebecca Jane from yogawithrebeccajane.com. Welcome to this 30-minute practice. So today we continue with that theme on consistency. What I talked about in the previous class was about how often, one of the questions I threw out was, how often do you break the promises to yourself? So how inconsistent are you in setting an intention for yourself and not following through? Very different from what we do for others. More often we don't want to hurt people's feelings, or we don't want to let people down. We want to be liked. There's lots of reasons. So we stay consistent. We'll go out whether we're tired. We'll push ourselves. But we let ourselves down more than we think. And the reason why I'm laughing is because I see myself doing it to myself. And it was really helped me to, when I did yesterday, thinking about, so I promised this, I set this intention for my day, and then I didn't follow through. And what that does internally. So when I was working with my therapy clients, I was asking the same question, and it was like, oh my God, I do that a lot. You know, I plan to go do something, a treat, or go exercise, or do whatever, and you don't do it. So what I want you to do in this practice, obviously you're here. So you set the intention to be here this morning, or, you know, that is, you've made it, right? So what would the intention be for this practice? And I want you to keep that promise, okay? Not that you have to hold on to it really tight and grasp it, but just say, it could be just go with the flow. Just let things happen. It could be anything it doesn't have to be anything like magnificent or dramatic. So today, so I want you to do that. And it could be just to be, you know, basic, simple things, which are more, actually the most important types of intentions, because you don't put too much pressure on yourself. You will succeed at it no matter what. So the thing we're doing today is we're working on the arms, as we do once a week, and that's consistency now. It used to be sporadically we would be focusing on the arms. We always work on our arms in every class. So now that's that predictability. Here we go. It's arm day, you know, which is kind of nice to know. It's like either you decide, I don't want an arm day, so you don't come, or you want that. I think most people like it. So what we're doing is we're going through a flow. We'll be doing some dolphins, which we haven't done in a while. Some push-ups, yogic push-ups, a little different. And so I want you to focus your energy on these arms. The upper back, the chest, the shoulders. So that's where the majority of our energy is going today. Let's take a pause here. Let's sit up nice and tall. Bring your mind's eye to your lower back as you extend upwards and expand, and sit up tall. Either eyes closed or looking outward, downward with soft eyes. And let's begin to breathe deeply in and out. So connecting to that breath, that ujjayi breath. That's consistency. Every yogic class we do ujjayi breath. And so what that is that's creating a soft, ocean-like sound as you inhale and exhale, opening up the glottis. So your intention for this practice. Listening to the sound of the breath calms the mind. Let's take an inhale and let's reach the arms up to the sky. Let's bend the elbows into those cactus-shaped arms and open up the heart. Lift up the chin if you'd like, or keep the chin parallel to the ground. And then bring the arms in towards each other with the elbows bent, and then round the back. So you're going into this cat and cow. Inhale, opening, like a flower blooming. And then exhale, close it as that flower closes. Some flowers will bloom at night, right? Some bloom in the day. Inhale, open, and then they close. And then let's go back and forth. If your arms start to feel tired, you can always place your hands on your knees. Let the breath move with the breath. So inhaling, you're that blooming flower. And then you're closing as you exhale. As you close, you exhale and round. One more time. Inhale, open. Keep the arms bent. Just pause and then lower the hands to your knees. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Let's gently transition onto our hands and knees. Props you can have handy in case-ups, but I'm not sure we need anything today. So those blocks. Once you're on your hands and knees, press into that child's pose. Let the arms stretch in front of you. Long. Feel the fingers against the ground. Breathing deeply, inhale. So as we move, this is consistency because we do this every day. Or if you haven't done it every day, then you've done it before. So your body remembers. Let's take an inhale, come to all fours and come onto your forearms. Hands separated, elbows in line with your wrists. Wrists are in line with your shoulders or slightly in front. And let's do some cats and cows, forearm cats and cows. So exhale, round, drop your head, peeking back behind you up towards your navel. And then inhale forward, looking towards your thumbs. Exhaling, rounding, soft gaze, dristy gaze. Let's go back and forth, inhaling forward, exhaling back. Arching as you inhale, exhaling, rounding. Let's do 3 more sets at your own pace. Pushing the ground away with those forearms. So you're already working these arms without doing much. Let's take one more deep breath in. Let's come back to a neutral spine. Let's press back into child's pose. Keep those arms nice and long. Elbows off the ground, stretching, breathing deeply. Inhale. And then come back to all fours. This time with straight arms. Wrists are under shoulders, knees are under hips. Actually, bring your left hand, make sure it's underneath your shoulder. Right arm reaches up to the sky. And then listen closely. Place that right hand on the back of your head. And lift your elbow a little bit higher. Turn your gaze to the right, if that's okay, or down. And then let your elbow, bring that elbow down as if you're just about to take your right hand underneath your left arm, which you will in a second. And then take that right arm, thread it underneath your left arm. Come in to thread the needle. So walk your knees back. Left arm can reach forward. Coming onto those fingertips. And then maybe that left hand walks over to the right a little bit. Press into the tops of those feet. Take a deep breath in, feeling that stretch in that right shoulder. The twist of the spine. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. So if you're come back to that intention, say it in your out loud or in your head, whatever that was. And then slide your left hand back. So just reminding yourself, press the ground away as you reach that right arm back up to the right side, up to the ceiling, and then lower that left hand down. Curl the toes under, downward facing dog. Walk your hands forward. Take a moment here to stretch out. Breathing deeply, inhale. Bringing your gaze towards that navel, dropping that head. Dristy gaze. Calming the mind. Then come back onto your knees, hands and knees. Bring that right wrist underneath your right shoulder and left hand reaches up to the left, up to the sky. And then take your left hand on the back of your head, breathing in, and lift the elbow a little bit higher. Oh. Take an inhale and exhale, elbow. Keep that hand on that head. Bring that elbow as if you're just about to thread it underneath your right arm. Little twist here. And then extend your left arm underneath that right. So here you are and thread the needle. Left shoulder on the ground, back of that left hand on the ground. And then slide your right hand forward. Walking it over to the left a little bit. Pressing into the tops of those feet. And you breathe deeply. Inhale. Lengthen through the body. Make it nice and long and then twist. Exhale. Releasing all that tension, all that energy that's built up in your body. We have to keep stretching and moving, breathing to get rid of that. And then slide your right hand back in front of your face. Use the strength of your arm to lift yourself back up. Lift that, reach that left arm up to the sky, and then lower that left hand down. Curl toes under. Take a deep breath in, downward facing dog. If you ever need to take a child's pose for a little break, do so, but keep those arms long and strong in the breath as well. And from here in downward facing dog, do some bending and straightening of the legs, loosening up those hips, loosening up the spine, letting the head just shake, yes, shake, no. Moving, getting into this, lubricating those joints. And then let's walk your hands to your feet. So you're at the backs of your mat. Let's fold forward. Let yourself hang here for a moment. Either hands on the ground or opposite hands, opposite elbows. Legs straight or bent. Back issue people, bend the knees. And just feel into that spine. Let the arms rest for a moment. And then release the hands to the ground. Let's take a deep breath in. Let's bend the knees. Let's sweep the arms up to the sky. Lift up nice and tall. Arms lifting. And then bend the elbows, just like we did when we were seated. Elbows reaching back behind those shoulders and lift that heart open. And then reach the arms back up. And then exhale, forward fold. So you're using your own body's resistance to strengthen those arms. Let's inhale halfway, fingertips on the shins or on the ground. And then lower the hands to the ground, exhale. Take an inhale, walk forward into your downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Now bring your hands maybe a little bit closer towards your feet, just a little bit. And take that right hand off the ground for a moment. Don't do a thing. Just lift it up. And then bring that right hand to the outside of your left foot, calf. Either one, whatever you can reach for. And then take a deep breath in and then twist looking underneath your left arm. Bringing your left hip slightly back. Breathing deeply. Inhale. So your left arm is working. It has to support you. Your core is working.
And then bring your right hand back next to your left. Walk your hands towards your feet and sit into your malasana, your squat, with the feet flat, if possible. Hands at heart center. Press those forearms into those thighs. Lift your heart to your thumbs, breathing deeply. Inhale and exhale. Allow the tailbone to lengthen downward. Spread the lower back. Expand through those kidneys, that area where the kidneys are. And then lower the hands back to the ground. Straighten those legs. Heel toe those feet hip distance. Take a deep breath in. Bend the knees. Inhale. Sweep your arms up to the sky. Remember, our arms are what we're working. We're emphasizing today. Bend the elbows. Opening up that heart. Elbows behind your shoulders. Spread the fingers. And then inhale. Reach the arms up as if you're pushing. You're doing a push-up or pull-up. Then exhale. Fold forward. Forward bend. Inhaling halfway. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, walk hands forward to your downward facing dog. Press into those hands, press into those feet. Take an inhale and exhale. Walk your hands a little bit closer to your feet if you need to. Right hand is your support arm. Right arm is your support arm. Press in, just lift your left hand off the ground for a moment. Take an inhale. And use your exhalation to take hold with that left hand, the outer edge of your right foot or the calf. Breathing in, and as you breathe out, twist and look underneath that right arm. Right hip crease, pull back. Breathing deeply, inhaling. You can feel that right arm working hard. So we do this a lot, these types of stretches. So we're always working these arms. Take your left hand next to your right. Take a deep breath in. Walk your hands back to your feet. Sit down in your malasana. Sit in that squat. Hands at heart center. Let your entire body melt to the ground and then lift up nice and tall. Stretching through that chest, pressing into those arms, upper arms, hands pressing together, breathing deeply, inhale, and exhale. And then lower the hands to the ground, forward bend, heel toe those feet. Hip distance, breathing in, and as you breathe out, lift all the way up to Tadasana. As you reach the arms up, bend the elbows, opening up that heart center, clawing those hands. You have these bear claw hands, opening, breathing. I'm here. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky, stretch. And then exhale, fold down, forward bend. Oh, nice. Let's inhale halfway. Let's exhale, forward fold. Drishti gaze. So it's a soft gaze. You're looking at one thing, walking forward. You're walking, you're looking towards those hands as if you are a bear until finally downward facing dog. Let's inhale into plank. Walk those wrists underneath your shoulders. Make sure your knees can be up or down. You're going to take a deep breath in. You're going to lower yourself down. Yogic push-up until your chest touches down. Tops of the feet touch down. And then from here, lift your hands. They're right near your chest. Lift your hands off the ground. Lift your legs off the ground. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then lower the hands down. Curl the toes under. Press back up into your plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. We'll do that a few times. Inhale. We'll go a little faster. Inhale into plank. Wrists are under shoulders. Exhale, knees up or down. Lower down. Chaturanga. Come all the way down to the ground. Forehead kisses the ground. Then lift head, lift legs, lift hands. Spread the fingers just like we did when we were standing. And then lower the hands to the ground, curl toes under, breathe in and lift back up into plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Child's pose if you need a break. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Let's inhale, come back to your plank. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, lower down, chaturanga. Once you're down, let everything melt to the ground, and then take an inhale, lift up. Hands are right next to your chest, spread those fingers. Elbows squeezing in towards each other, forehead lifts, legs lift. Whew. Holding and breathing. Strengthening these arms, and then place the hands to the ground, curl the toes under, lift back up into plank, and then downward facing dog. Lower the knees to the ground. Take a moment here in child's pose with arms long and strong, breathing still very strong. We're not done. Breathing deeply. So you can feel the blood rushing through those arms. Inhaling and exhaling. Let's inhale, come to all fours. Let's exhale, curl toes under, downward facing dog, pushing the ground away into your downward facing dog. Breathing deeply, inhale and exhale. Get strong, strong arms. And then walk your hands towards your feet. Let yourself settle here in forward bend. Breathing in and breathing out. Let's bend the knees. Let's inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale, bend the elbows, open up the heart. This time, bring the hands in towards each other, just like we did, and round the back as we were seated at the beginning. Then inhale, open the arms, straighten the legs, lift open that heart. Exhaling, bringing the arms in towards each other. And then opening. One more time, bring the arms in. And then inhale, open up, stretch open those arms, reach the arms up to the sky. Open the feet wide. We're coming right into our malasana. Hands come down the center, together down the center of your body. Sit down in your malasana. Lift your heart. So I'm going to turn so you can see me. And then take your right hand, place it on the ground, but keep it inside your right leg, pressing into that leg. Left arm reaches up to the ceiling or to the corner of the ceiling. Take a deep, your gaze can be looking to that left hand or towards the left foot. Breathing in and breathing out. And then lower your left hand down, press it inside your left leg, and right arm reaches. Lifting and breathing. Ooh, this one I absolutely love. We haven't done this in a while. Lower that right hand down. Bring your hands to your heart. Lift up tall through the spine. Gazing towards those fingers. Breathing in and breathing out. And then lower the hands to the ground, straightening those legs. Walk those feet closer together. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, walk your hands forward, downward facing dog. So in your downward facing dog, we're coming into what they call a turbo dog. You bend the elbows, but they hover off the ground, squeeze them in towards each other. If this is way too much, keep your arms straight. For some of us, just the regular downward facing dog is enough. Lift your tailbone up, bring your gaze backwards. Your knees are bent here. There's a slight bend at the knees. Breathing deeply, inhale. You can feel those arms working. Whew. And then straightening those arms, coming onto your knees. Pressing back into child's pose. Taking a moment here, pausing and breathing. Let the elbows soften down. breath continues. That's that even rhythm of breath, the calming Ujjayi breath. And then let's do one more arm sequence before we come onto our backs. We're doing a dolphin. So come onto those forearms, just like we did earlier. Interlace the hands or separate them. Interlacing is a little bit easier. I'll do the interlace version. Press the wrists into the ground. Walk your knees underneath your hips and then curl the toes under and press up into dolphin. So your legs are straight, just like a downward facing dog. Your head is hovering off the ground, not touching the ground. And breathing in and out. Drawing the tummy muscles up towards, in and up towards the spine. Tailbone lifts, arching the back a little bit here. And breathe. Let the head hang. I used to really shake in this. It took me years to kind of get comfortable in a dolphin. And then lower the knees to the ground. Sit back into embryo with legs together. Arms next to your feet. So you're in the child's pose, but with the legs together. Let the head drop. Whew. And then slowly lift yourself up onto all fours. Transition onto your right hip. Those gorgeous arms, right? Which require core strength. Let's sit on our bottoms. Let's reach the arms forward. Let's take a deep breath in and ease ourselves onto our backs. And then stretch through the entire length of the body. Oh, arching your back, letting all that tension go. So return to your intention. Hug your knees into your chest. Repeat your intention. Say it. Let the knees drop to the right, spinal twist. Arms out to the sides, both arms or right hand on your left knee. Left arm out to the side. Turn the gaze to your left hand, palm up. Muscles you will feel that you haven't felt in a while, especially the upper back. And then lift your knees back up. Give yourself a hug. You can always stay longer in these twists. You just go beyond, stay longer after I end the session. Take your knees to the left, left hand resting on top of that right leg. Right arm reaches out to the side, palm up. Turn your gaze to the right. So it's keeping promises to yourself. If you don't, you're not going to keep it, try not to promise yourself. Because your body, you actually have this little inner child that wants these little things to happen. It's like, I want to go to the ice cream store, but then you didn't follow through. Bring your knees up, and then that hurts them. They feel like they can't trust you. Hug your knees into your chest. Same thing with us. We have that little child. Let's take your left foot to the left corner of the mat, right to the right. And we settle into Shavasana, 2 to 5 minutes. Even when I'm sealing the class and turning off the class, you stay here. Let your entire body melt, giving yourself permission to rest, to allow the body to assimilate everything that happened. Powerful. Just to be here. You stay where you are, and I will come up to seal this practice.
In my Sukhasana, my cross-legged seat, I sit. I feel the power of a yoga class, the power of movement, of doing something good for yourself and keeping that promise consistently. And as I bring my hands in front of my heart, if you enjoyed this class, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. This is Rebecca Jane from yogawithrebeccajane.com. Namaste.